What is going on, everybody, and good afternoon? Because I was not going to be up in the AM to do this show, or I was not going to be coherent, right, to do this show. But the Phillies get the comeback win 9-6 over the Dodgers. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching It's a Wrap Sports Network. This is the Fightins final from last night's game. Good stuff. Good stuff. Wasn't good in the beginning, right? It wasn't so good in the beginning. Shohei Ohtani had his way with the possibly hungover Philadelphia Phillies. So had that. He also, Shohei, had a home run late. I think it was like in the 8th. I didn't see it. But once the Phillies were able to get away from the Shohei Ohtani show, they were able to get some bats, right? They were able to get some hits. Brandon Marsh gets the 2-run home run. Kepler had the solo shot in the 6th inning. It was a 6-run 6th inning. Let me go over here. So yeah, so you had Harper. He doubled and brought in Marchand, and Bader, and Schwarber got the 3rd. Then Marsh had the 2-run shot, and Kepler topped it off with the solo shot. And then Ohtani comes back in the 8th as a batter, and he cuts the lead 6-5. Then they tie it up. Cal hit a sacrifice fly. He ties it up. And here we are in the 9th inning. 2 outs. Well, no, let me go back because I was awake for this one. I was awake at this part. 2 outs. And nobody's on. There's Weston Wilson. Gets a great at bat, gets a double. First is open. They intentionally walk Stott. And now Marchand comes up to the plate and has his moment, his welcome to the big leagues moment, right? And what a home run it was. Just cleared the wall out there in right field. But it was out of there nonetheless. And I'm only going to talk about the good right now. I'll say the negative stuff for Matty B tonight. I'm pretty sure he's got the final tonight, or he might do the final tomorrow. I'm not sure what he's got planned. But ultimately, he gets the home run. They get the win, and another comeback win. No champagne, or should I say Miller Lite, beer bong hangover. It was once the bullpen for the Dodgers got in there. Yeah, be worried that they couldn't hit against the A's on a day where they're hungover. But they were able to tear apart the Dodgers bullpen. Got 9 runs off of them. It was good. It was incredible. It was incredible. Star Wars, this is, I believe, a comment from last night. We win the series with Marchand being the hero. Yeah. How I wrote it down here. Over the last 2 games, the Phillies have received huge at-bats from Otto Kemp, Weston Wilson, and Marchand. And Kepler's been, you can add Kepler to that list. But obviously without those guys, they don't get the win. They don't get to win the last 2 games. Joe, yeah, what's going on, man? Great win yesterday. Yeah, technically, it was a great win this morning, right? Um, but you love to see it. And it was only his second home run of the season. I think it was a go-ahead 3-run home run in the 9th with 2 outs, mind you. I mean, it's not just your typical guys. It's not just Bryce. It's not just Schwarber. Obviously, Trey's out. But what a way to step up in JT's place, who JT's been hitting the ball well. And these guys are able to fill in. Otto Kemp's able to fill in for Bohm. If not skip a beat, if not play better. Bader has done, since joining this club, they've scored the most runs in baseball in the 7th inning and later. Which, yeah, you can look at that both sides. You can look at that for the positive as, wow, they can go ahead and get you some runs late when things are not looking so good, right? Or add to a lead, right? Or come back, whichever have you. Or you can look at it like, well, damn, they always need to come back. Why can't they get some runs early on? But you got to look at the game and you got to have context. Are they up in those games and they're just adding on to the lead? So they're 30-14 since the trade deadline, best in baseball. Just goes to show what the contributions of Bader and Duran, what they have meant to this team. Joe chiming in. So if you're the Phillies, do you want the number 1 seed? Absolutely. Always. Let the series, World Series, and the path to it come through Philly. Because ultimately, we're not just talking about the number 1 seed in the NL, they have the second best record in baseball behind the Brewers. So they go ahead and get the number 1 seed in the NL. Then they have number 1 seed in all of baseball. So absolutely, the way they play at the bank, the way that crowd is, incredible. You definitely want the road to the World Series to go through Citizens Bank Park. So yeah. So if you're the Phillies, you want the number 1 seed. Absolutely. Don't take your foot off the gas. Whatever they're doing since the trade deadline. Since those guys have gotten here. Joe, I'm going to ask you a question, Joe. Do you think that Bader and Duran, do you think that they brought fun back into the locker room? That it was too serious? Because it was the same guys that have been through hell and back and dealt with failure in the playoffs, right? And this season was all business. And that's hard to be all business for 162 games, right? And now you got Bader, who's always joking around, always smiling, always having a good time. And then he's able to back it up with his play. He didn't have the bat at first when he first got here, but he was contributing defensively out there in center field. How many times did we see a ball come off the fence, off the wall, and he's playing it perfect? So that what probably should have been a triple is now just a double. We've seen him rob home runs. His gear, the pink and the all the different colors. The kids love that stuff, right? It's fun. And then Duran's entrance, you can't say that the players don't think that's cool too. Yeah, the fans love it. I love it. That it was incredible to see. But to be in the dugout when that's going on and being like, dang, this dude's coming out here. He's got his own theme song. Look at this. Everyone's going crazy for it. You can't tell me the players don't think that's fun too. And then he is then able to, for the most part, I would say, 80%, 90% of his outings, he's able to go back it up and do exactly what he was brought here to do. He brought fun back in. Those two guys brought fun back into that locker room and broke up the seriousness of it all and it just being strictly business. And now that they're able to back it up and be key contributors, Bader should never leave center field unless it's for an injury, knock on wood. But they have their guy now for the rest of this season. I think it's even allowed Nick Castellanos to be able to see the writing on the wall and just whatever. Tell me where you need me. Let's go win this thing. And then he knows he's gone. But you've been able to manage that because when you have the fun happening and you're winning, man, just hop on board. Just hop on board. And now they're the comeback wins where other guys are contributing. Otto Kemp, Hepler, everyone wanted him gone. Me, I'm one of them. But look at him now. I know a lot of people would much rather keep him over there in right versus Castellanos. So, yes, Duran and Bader brought the fun back. Yeah, and hey, I wouldn't be praising it if they were losing, right? Because there's no fun in losing, and I don't think Bader would be that much of a fun guy if they were losing, right? But it's fun to win, and then it not just be all about business. Win, go home, wash, rinse, repeat. No, they're having fun. I didn't mind them celebrating after the NL. Enjoy your accomplishment as long as it doesn't lead into a struggle, right? You know you're going to have the hangover game, and look what they were able to do. They came back out and they won. I mean, hell, you had Topper in there celebrating. You had other management in there celebrating. I don't think it was too much celebrating. They're young. They're going to beer bong. Who cares? Who cares? It's like the daycare coming back. But what else? I got some other stuff here. The Phillies, they're 39-27 this season against teams above 500, which is the best percentage against teams greater than 500 in all major baseball. Their magic number to clinch a first round bye is 4, sitting at 1.5 games behind the Brewers for the first seed. I mean, I feel like I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like they've definitely kind of all but locked up that 2 seed minimum. You've won another series, 33 series won this year, second most in franchise history. You're hearing some good news about Trey Turner. He could possibly be coming back before the playoffs even begin. But at this point, do you even want him to rush it? Nah, I don't. Okay, I'll be a Debbie Downer and talk about the negatives. The negatives of the game. The negatives of the game, they couldn't get a run until the 6th inning. They couldn't get anything going against Shohei, who's now finally starting to ramp up his innings per game when he gets a start. He was only getting like an inning and a half before, or an inning and a quarter. Third, he wasn't getting much. He got what, 5 innings, 5 full innings, 1 walk, 5 Ks. He had 68 pitches, but then the rest of the Dodgers bullpen, Blinsky, 5 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, gave up a homer. Then Henriquez came in. He gave up a hit, an earned run, and a homer. And then at the end, Drennan, he gave up the home run to Marchand, 3 earned runs. So they tore up that bullpen. Then Shohei had 5 at bats, 2 strikeouts, but a home run. Mookie, he didn't do much. He was excuse me. Mookie was 1 for 4. He had a single in the 5th. So he didn't do much. Hernandez was 1 for 4. He let's see. He doubled in the 8th. So he didn't do much. Freeman 0 for 3. It was the middle of the lineup. It was Edman, Cal, and Pajes. So Bader 1 for 5, Schwarber 1 for 3, Harper 1 for 3, Marsh 1 for 4, Otto Kemp 0 for 4. Otto Kemp, he's going to do something tonight. I can feel it. He's going to do something tonight. Kepler 1 for 4, Wilson 1 for 3. Kepler, of course, had the home run. Marsh had the 2-run shot. Stout 0 for 3, and Marchand filling in for JT 2 for 4 with the big shot, with the big home run, 3 RBIs. Sanchez went 7 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs. They really got to him in the early innings. What was it? The second inning, they put up 3, and then Hernandez got the sacrifice fly in the 4th to make it 4-0, and then it was that. It was it was 4-0 for a while. Like I keep saying, Phillies, they weren't able to do anything against Shohei. Robertson came in, gave up 2 runs. Banks gave up a hit and a walk. No strikeouts from the bullpen. And then Duran came in and finished it off. So tonight, I believe it should be Luzardo. And I think I saw going up against Snell. So should be another good one. Let's go ahead and get into last night's. All right. So last night's Broad Street bottom line for me is key contributions from role players stepping up when they're needed, when they're called upon lately since this All-Star break. Otto Kemp, Weston Wilson, Marchand, Kepler, Bader. Who am I missing? Who am I missing that has really stepped up? I mean, hell, look at the bullpen. Look at guys like Robertson, who's really stepped up. I feel like Strom has really stepped up. Ever since Duran has gotten here, he's kind of influenced roles happening in the bullpen. So it's much needed. Guys know when they're coming in. They're comfortable. They know they should always be ready, but they know when they're actually lights are on. Joe saying Phillies sweep the Dodgers. The score runs. They score runs against Snell. Yeah, I think they go ahead and they're feeling something right now. It's something. It's the team. It feels special. So, can they? Is this the year you look around at the landscape of baseball around the major leagues, and no one's really running away with this thing. But you look at the way that some of the things I was saying earlier. 30-14 since the trade deadline. 30 games over 500. 39-27 this season against teams above 500, which is the best percentage in baseball versus teams above 500. They've won 33 series this year. Come around on topper. I feel like he's kind of done a decent job managing. You look at the grand scheme of things. We got 10 games left. I got more to see. 152 games worth so far. Seeing where they're at now, yeah, I'd say he's done a pretty good job. Pretty happy. I don't want to fire him anymore. So it was great. It was great. Do they complete the sweep like Joe says? I do. I think so. I think the bullpen is going to play a big part tonight. Luzardo's going to go out there and give you 5 innings, and then the bullpen's going to have to go out there and give you a solid 3 innings. Know their roles. I think they go ahead. I think they get some run support early for Luzardo. I can see this being like a 7-3 win. 7-3 win tonight for the Phillies and getting the sweep. And what do they got next? Who's their series up against next? The Diamondbacks. So who knows? Maybe does Trey Turner come back for the Diamondbacks? I don't really want to rush him back, but we shall see. Let's go around the bases and go over the scores from last night. Alrighty. This is the Around the Bases segment. Let's go over these scores. Diamondbacks get the win over the Giants, 6-5. Marlins get the win over the Rockies, 6-5. A lot of 6-5 games last night. Astros beat the Rangers, 6-5. Cardinals get the shutout over the Reds, 3-0. Mariners get the big win over the Royals, 12-5. Yankees outlast the Twins, 10-9. Orioles get the 1-run win over the Chicago White Sox, 8-7. Angels couldn't help the Phillies out and get a win over the Brewers. Brewers beat them up pretty good, 9-2. The Blue Jays beat the Tampa Bay Rays, 6-5. Mets finally get a win. They beat the Padres 8-3. Athletics beat the Red Sox 2-1. Braves shut out the Nationals in the second game of their doubleheader, and in the first game, the Braves beat the Nationals 6-3. Guardians beat the Tigers 7-5 in 10, and the Cubs beat the Pirates 4-1. And of course, the Phillies just went over it, beat the Dodgers 9-6 in comeback fashion. Some of the games that are going on right now: Cubs Pirates 7-4. Cubs are up in the top of the 8th. Reds and Cardinals, they're in the middle of the 7th. Reds are up 6-2, and the Orioles are up 3-1 on the Chicago White Sox in the bottom of the 7th. And there's a slew of games on tonight. I'll let Matty B go over that with you guys. But the Phillies take on the Dodgers tonight, 10:10 p.m. Joe's got Phillies 7, Dodgers 2. All right, so we're close. We're close in score, but we're together on the 7. So, like to see it. Like to see it. So yeah. So like I said, Matty B is on the call tonight. So make sure you guys are tuning into that. I'm not sure if he's doing that or if he's going to do the final word, but Sundays through Thursday, you can catch Matty B talking the good word on the final word. What else do we got here? We got tomorrow night, myself, and I do believe Pat is back. I do believe the Gobbler is back. You catch us 9 o'clock talking all things Philadelphia Union and talking the MLS landscape on the attacking third. Union just sucking it up right now. 2 bad losses. So we'll be talking about that. Excuse me. Later on tonight, 7 p.m., we have prop locks and parlays with Mike Larrow. No pressure sports betting for entertainment purposes only. They'll be coming on at 7. So make sure you You degenerates out there like myself who love to gamble on sports, get those bets in with Mike. Then tomorrow night, right before the attacking third at 7 p.m., Birds Blast with Kyle Quinn and Matty B, recapping the Chiefs game and jumping into a review of the Eagles, hosting the Rams, right? Yes, hosting the Rams this week. And of course, Sunday after the game, you can join me, and you never know who may pop in to join me. Be the Philadelphia Eagles post-game show. The Birds fly by. Hopefully, we're talking about a win versus Matthew Stafford in that wide receiver duo of Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. And then Saturday, who does Penn State have? I'm going to look this up real quick. Let's go. Who does Penn State have? Are they on bye? They are on a bye week? I hope not already. It looks like they are. So there's no Penn State game this week, but next week you can catch Mike. It'll be a night one on Saturday. Oregon, Penn State, number 2 versus number 6 currently. So make sure you guys are checking out Happy Valley Huddle with Mike. And new shows to the network. New shows to the network, folks. We're not just Philly anymore. We're covering all Pennsylvania. Gridiron Weekly from the Pittsburgh guys, talking NFL, NCAA, and all things football. I believe that's at Thursday at 8 p.m. And then the debut of the Pittsburgh Sports Desk on It's a Wrap Sports Network tonight at 8 p.m. Talking to all Pittsburgh sports. And then, of course, Steel City. They'll be here for week 3 of their show for their pre- and post-game coverage of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Friday, the wraparound with Pat Bernard, 10:30. Believe he will be back this Friday, and I believe he's got a special guest. He'll break that news on social media, so make sure you guys are following Pat on social media. He loves to have breaking news with his guests on the wraparound. So he'll be wrapping up the week that was in Philadelphia and introducing us all to the weekend that brings in Philadelphia sports. And then Sundays will never be the same. P&M in the AM. Pat, Mike, and Big Al talking all things Philadelphia sports, wrapping up the week. And right now, obviously, be introducing and bringing us into the NFL Week 3. So tons going on at the network. Here is the big lineup. Those Pittsburgh shows will definitely be added. Where they will be going Thursdays, like I said, Thursdays you're going to have the Gridiron Weekly, and Wednesday you'll be having Pittsburgh Sports Decks. So make sure you guys are tuning into those shows. Give those guys some love. Always good things here. Final 2 comments. Penn State is off this week. Yep. So no Penn State. I'm glad Pat is back. Heck yeah. Should be good. Should be good. And Star Wars joining in. What's going on? Philly's got the tiebreaker from Dodgers. So there you go. They're I kind of feel comfortable with them that they got that second seed minimum at least, right? And they got that, hopefully got that bye. So make sure you guys are tuning into the final tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in to the day after Fighting's final. Phillies get the win over the Dodgers. Comeback win. Ring the bell.